guess I just say incredible.
Bueno.
Spectacular.
Once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime fun trip.
The whole time with a smile on my face.
This week has been the pinnacle of my motorcycling life.
Welcome to Motorcyclist Reader Test 2014. We're in Berlin, Germany at the BMW factory kicking off.
We're going to spend the next 8 days crisscrossing Europe, seeing some factories, having a great time, and sampling all these roadsters in their natural element. What do you think, guys? Yeah! While we were unable to bring cameras inside any of the factories we toured in Europe, our journey began at BMW, where we got a glimpse into the history, the technology, and the innovation that defines the brand today. But with a quick shot of coffee and the promise of European adventures ahead, we got quickly back on our bikes and set off on the journey.
We're headed to Dresden, so I guess we're going to make some time on the Autobahn.
Fortunately, the Autobahn lived up to its reputation, and we were swept into the countryside, where some of Europe's most historic cities awaited. We arrived in Prague at the end of our third day, just as the city was coming to life. As we walked around the historic streets, we couldn't help but notice how the group of total strangers were so quickly bonded by their love of motorcycles and travel. Pressing on, the cities and roads only increased in beauty, while the camaraderie strengthened with each mile. By day 4, we had made our way to Mattighofen, Austria, where KTM greeted us with a camera-free factory tour of its own. What began as a modest metalworking business has now grown into one of the most global brands in all of motorcycling, and has served as the perfect prologue for the truly epic riding to follow. After KTM, we set off on some of the best roads any motorcyclist will ever see. We rode up the Großglockner Glacier, which is an amazing sight. Among the other passes, the Passo Jau, the Falterega, and the Pordoi. All of these are some of the best roads you can absolutely imagine, and fantastic fun on a motorcycle. In the last few days of the tour, we raced through 3 countries, hundreds of miles, and countless mountain passes to end up in our final destination, Bologna, Italy, home of Ducati. The museum at Ducati was a particular standout of the trip, illustrating the company's many contributions to the motorcycle industry and highlighting its unparalleled racing heritage. But with this final stop in Bologna, it was time for our group to take pause and reflect on our own adventure in its closing hours.
The first couple of days we made some corners and I thought, well, this is going to be fun. I had no idea what I was going to get into. It was just turn after turn after turn, and then the views is just incredible. It just seemed that every time I rode home, it was, you gotta see these cities that we're in.
We went through at least 100 villages with a population of 100 or less. Way cool. And probably the best roads were the ones on the side of mountains, when you can look down in the valleys and see all the villages on the sides of mountains or hills that you would probably be going through soon. That was cool.
My favorite pass that we rode this week was definitely Großglockner. It's just got a storied pass because there were actual races going on there, and to actually think and feel that I'm testing these bikes on a place where races actually happened a long time ago was pretty special.
The German roads were excellent condition, good traction, really flat. Coming through the Czech Republic was the bumpiest roads I've ever tried to ride fast on in my life, but they were a kick in the butt because you were just moving everywhere. It was actually a lot of fun there.
For me, this was like the best riding trip ever. And we had great roads in the Alps and also in the Dolomiti Mountains. So it was the first time for me.
Things gradually built up to the crescendo, which was today, where we went up to what amounts to the Ducati test track, because we're just outside of Bologna. And we found out how good the roads were, and we were riding like escaped convicts for the best part of the day, and I could do that every day of my life.
In a way, it's kind of all blended together because you're in the moment, right? When you're riding a motorcycle, and oh, there's that view, and there was that restaurant with that great meal, but it's all been great. And so how do you like sit back for a second and say, you know, what was the greatest of the great?
Here we are in Bologna, Italy, looking out over the city. It's the end of our 7-day European Roadster Tour, and we've had such an incredible time. We hear from readers all the time that they would love to have our jobs, and the great thing about this tour is we kind of gave them the opportunity to play motojournalists for the week. We did it last year with adventure bikes in the Alps, this year with European roadsters in some of Europe's greatest cities, and who knows where we're going next year. Hopefully some of you will come and join us.